white car out there, you know we would have been covered, but no.
It's true. A symphony on your windscreen.
Well, the Byrds concert still doesn't have a scheduled date, I'm sorry to say, but the artists are hopeful it'll be next month, as long as the Byrds hurry up and do their business.
So to speak. It's nearly 5 to 9. Now, how much pressure do you feel to get your children to do well at school? Maybe you send them for extra lessons, some pay for extra private tuition.
Now, though, some are saying that tests and targets may not be the best way to learn. They're advocating so-called slow learning. That's where young people are given more time to reflect on what they've studied.
But how does it work, and does it actually work? Joining us now is Joe Harrison, who's an educational consultant, and Andy Raymer, who's head teacher at a school which has introduced slow education. So, Joe, let's talk to you to start with. Slow education, that we parents across the country, especially kids across the country, say, what on earth is that? Explain.
Slow education is a broad movement of schools, educators, teachers who are interested in the idea that for deep learning processes we really require time fundamentally, and that we need time for our learners to become really absorbed in the learning processes, so that they really care about what they're learning, and time to stand back and reflect upon that. And this is what we need to start seeing working within the school system.
So Andy, you've been pioneering this in your school in Rochdale. Yeah. What does that actually mean on a practical day-to-day basis? What do you do differently?
Okay, Maurice Holt, who wrote the original article, talked about a slow school being involved in understanding rather than coverage. Most people would agree that schools spend too much time, a Canadian report said, mired in trivia, trying to cover more and more information, and actually not doing real learning in the process. So for us, we've tried through project-based learning, which is co-constructed with the learner, to let them choose things that they would like to learn about, and also, as Joe said, spend the time that it takes to really do that for themselves, not having learning pre-packaged, pre-digested by teachers for them.
But how does that work within the context of a national curriculum? There's a lot for kids to learn before they take their exams. How do you pack it all in?
Because through project-based learning, you can learn all sorts of stuff. Can I give you some examples?
Yeah, do.
Okay. We've got students who are... I was talking to a technology teacher on Friday about, could we build a wind tunnel? There's a learner who's really interested in aircraft and how they fly. We've got learners interested in astronomy, astrology. We've got learners interested in Indian partition in 1947. Loads of things interest individual children. The idea that most people aren't curious is wrong. You're curious, you're curious. When you want to find out something, when you need to find out something, that's when you learn, just in time.
But, you know, say I'm a parent with kids at your school and I want them to come out with good results that's going to get them a job in these difficult times. I don't want them learning slow, I want them doing really well. What do you say to a parent who argues that?
Okay, they do really well. If you are an effective learner...
But they're not covering as much stuff, are they?
It's not about covering stuff necessarily, it's about developing the skills to be a really effective learner. And when you ask employers what they want, how many of them say, it's absolutely crucial that anyone I employ knows the names of Henry VIII's 6 wives?
But they look at the results though, don't they?
Sure, and the results are fine because we can develop really effective learners.
I think, Joe, one of the things we've struggled with understanding here is a child, let them go away and reflect on something by themselves, they're going to go off and play on the Xbox, aren't they? But you need discipline to get children to learn what they need to learn.
Well, one thing I've noticed is exactly as Andy is saying, is that if learning has real purpose for the learner, they're going to do it. They're more engaged in it. And again, these kind of issues that people talk about a lot these days of discipline, it's a hot topic, discipline in education. And as the deputy at Andy's school said, if there's real quality learning going on, then discipline is less of an issue.
Ironically, we've run out of time. But thank you very much indeed for joining us. We should have devoted more and done it
That's it from us
in more
this
detail.
morning. Yeah, Bill and Susanna are back tomorrow from 6 o'clock on BBC One.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
Enjoy. Bye-bye. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.